So here's the deal, guys. I'm fat. I'd like to talk about one of the many reasons sort of having roommates in the past has been complicated in a journey towards not so much losing weight, but being healthy, there was a time where I was obsessed with losing weight. Like, I blamed every bad thing in my life, my inability to get girlfriends, the struggle for me to make friends, just on my weight. And the truth is, I'm an introvert. I know you don't believe it in these videos, but I have a hard time having long-term friends, because I'll get into these periods where I just want to be by myself. I don't want to be with people. There's a friend of mine who, yes, I said friend. I said I have a hard time picking friends, not that I haven't made them. There's a friend of mine who thinks the worst thing you can do is go on a road trip by yourself. Whereas when I go on road trips by myself, I think it's the best thing ever. I don't have to stress out about entertaining other people. It's just about me. That being said, I recognize that being heavier does cause a lot of other problems. So far, I watched some videos of people and they're like, oh my God, I'm 250 pounds. I can't move. Everything in my body is in pain. I'm falling apart. And I want to laugh because I'm I do plenty at that weight. So it's kind of silly to me when people do that, but also I understand that what's true for one person isn't necessarily true for all people. For me, yes, there have been times where walking around or standing for long periods of time have been a struggle as far as weight, but I work labor jobs all the time where I'm loading and unloading trucks, so it doesn't really paralyze me the way I've seen some people talk about it paralyzing them. So I've lost weight a few times. Ooh, it's really echoey in here. But anyway, I've lost weight a few times. The last time I set out to lose weight, I was at almost 300, if not over 300 pounds. I forget the number. All I know is it was scary enough to make me start exercising every day. And so I would get up every morning, and this is when I was living in Baltimore. I would go into the living room. I put in an exercise video because that's my thing. I really like the Beachbody exercise videos. I didn't really have to think about it. I went into the living room, put on the video, followed the video for half hour, whatever it was. And then, I went on with my day, and I had no problem getting up at 4, 5, 6 in the morning, depending on what my work schedule was, to do that before I started the rest of my day. And I found that was the system that worked best for me. And then I got the Berkeley Rep Fellowship, and so I came to Berkeley. When I got to Berkeley, again, I was forced into a situation with 2 roommates. They gave us free housing, but there were 3 of us in the apartment. There was a rooftop that I was using in the first place they housed us so that I was not disturbing anybody. And then they moved us to a new apartment complex where there was also a rooftop, but it was more complicated to get to early in the morning. And there was a little balcony outside of our apartment, but it turned out that balcony was on top of somebody else's apartment. And this is why I consider apartment complexes kind of insane. Everybody argues about the polite way to live in apartment complexes and complain about noise, but you're basically taking these thin wall units and stacking them on top of each other and next to each other. So if you're doing things, even by mistake, that are causing a lot of noise, they're causing all these disturbances with your neighbors, sometimes with you not meaning to be mean about it. And that's been the difficult part of sort of living with roommates, is that system works for me. When I know I can get up in the morning and I can go straight to a room and I can exercise, that system works for me and I can commit to it really, really easy. I am by nature more of a lark than an owl, and basically larks in their natural habitat will get up early and go to bed early. I usually don't go to bed early because I have work that tends to go evening, like shows happen in the evenings or like midday and evening are like normal time for shows, because they're for people who go to work and are going to go to the show after work, or going to go to the show on the weekends as evening entertainment or midday entertainment. So when I have shows and not rehearsal that are in the evening, and sometimes I have rehearsals in the evening, then I have to default to my unnatural schedule. But it's even more natural for me to get up early, do the exercise, take a nap, and then prepare for a day that might run late, as opposed to just waking up late and starting. Like, my natural way of doing it is knowing I'm always going to get up at 4, 5, 6 o'clock, whatever it is, and then do the exercise. And roommate situations kept taking that away from me because I had to respect my neighbors. Or people I was co-living with or cohabitating with, or somebody that was important to someone I was cohabitating with. So you might be saying, Dawn, you have a gym membership, like that's what you use for your showers, is the fact that you have a gym membership. I've never liked the gym. And the reason why, again, is I like that system of waking up, turning on this video, doing exactly what's on the video, turning it off, and proceeding with my day. And unfortunately at the gym, I did have a gym system I was trying to use at one point when I was in college and trying to lose weight. And let me just say, I have lost weight successfully, up to 40, 50 pounds repeatedly. And it had something disrupt my life, usually involved with housing, and therefore messing up my schedule. And it throws me off. And once it throws me off, like, is now I live in a van and I have a gym membership for showers. So in what ways can I reestablish a pattern that works for me? And I don't think it's the gym, because the thing that throws me off about the gym is I will go in with a written down plan, and then all the machine I want is occupied, or I can't get to the weights I want, or I can't get to the weight machine I want, and it kind of just like throws everything off, because I have my plan written down and I'm that person. It isn't like, oh, let me skip this, go to the next thing, come back. I like following my plan as written out. And it doesn't mean I can't switch it up, but it becomes more exhausting when I can't just go in, do the thing, and get out in the order I've already sketched out for myself, especially since initially starting is such a struggle. And so I've been trying to figure out how to get back on track. And one of the things I saw recently, I don't know how many people watch Casey Roman and the Babe Bus, but being in a bus, she hasn't let it stop her. I saw her go out, she did a little bit of jogging, and she had a phone playing with what looked like an exercise video, but I didn't write to her to be sure. And you know, she was doing her stuff on a plank, and she's like, I will commandeer a park or whatever so I can get my exercise done. So what I've been thinking is I might need to do that. Like, part of living this lifestyle has been getting comfortable with the fact that you're gonna be exposed to the public in a bunch of ways. Like, sometimes I just roll out of bed and I need to walk into a place and use a public restroom because I don't have one. Or I prefer, if I can avoid it, I prefer not going in the van. So what I've been thinking with exercise is I need to develop that kind of mentality. The same mentality I've been trying to develop about brushing my teeth in the gym at the sink, you know, which is something I've admitted I've struggled with. And no, I don't want to do it in the shower. Like, I just can't. That makes me uncomfortable. The idea of like toothpaste in my mouth, and it grosses me out. And it doesn't mean it's not. It's universally gross. For me personally, it grosses me out. And there's stuff that doesn't gross me out that grosses other people out. So I accept that. So I don't want to brush it in the shower. So just like I need to push myself, and I have been pushing myself to go ahead and brush my teeth at the sink in the gym, I need to get the same way about public exercise. Because the thing is, yes, I can go to the gym a lot, and I definitely want to find a way, since I go to the gym to shower anyway, to add that into my routine. But I want to have a routine that's at least 5 to 6 days a week. And that's going to definitely involve getting comfortable with going out in the public and exercising. And public vlogging has helped too. Because, like, you know, people are going to see you like talking to your phone and think you're weird. And you just have to accept that's going to happen, or these videos would never get made. Like right now I'm at a lobby at work, anybody could walk in. In fact, I was in the courtyard, if you could tell by the cut, and people started walking and I got nervous. And I'm still kind of nervous because this is a very personal video, and I'm trying to be upfront about it. People are really afraid of the word fat. The fact is, I am fat. I have fat layers on my body. I would like to have less fat layers on my body. I have no thought in my mind I'm ever going to be skinny. I think my body just doesn't lean that way. And the truth is, weight is partially genetic. It's not fully genetic. And my thing about anything is, like, don't use it as an excuse. Life is unfair. Some people were born and are going to default to not gaining as much weight as other people. It's not a direct association with excess food to weight gain, because you can have two people who are eating the same amount of food and one ends up heavier than the other. You can have two kids raised in the exact same house and one ends up heavy and the other doesn't. So it's not a direct correlation. So what I'm asking for from you guys is to be sort of my checkpoint in trying to move forward in eating healthier. One of the hard things about working here, as much as I've loved working this particular show, is that there is an evil candy bowl that I have been battling, and I've successfully not touched that bowl for 4 days. I acknowledge I have a sugar addiction. The problem with me is, like, if you put a bag of candy in front of me, it will be gone if it's candy that I like. I mean, there's stuff I don't like, but if there's candy that I like, if there's chocolate that I like, there is no one piece and walk away. And one of the things I've learned through past incidences of being successful is some people are moderators and some people are abstainers. Moderation sounds wonderful because it means you still get to have it. You get to have a little bit every once in a while. And some people are like that with, like, I don't know, like alcohol. Like, some people can moderate alcohol, like they only drink it socially or when they're out and they're not drinking it all the time. And then other people are alcoholics. That's really loud. Okay. The thing is, food can be the same way. You can have a food addiction and it may be triggered by certain foods and not all food. And it's really hard because with alcohol, if you're alcoholic, you can just stop drinking alcohol. And I'm not making it that simple, but your body doesn't need and require alcohol. So if you need to cut it out, which I in fact don't drink, but not because I'm an alcoholic, just because I don't like alcohol, so I don't see the point in drinking it. And it took me a long time to get there because I thought that's what adults do when they go out. So getting to the point where I was just like, screw it, I'm not going to drink alcohol because I don't actually like it, like, that took a while just for me to admit that to myself, because that's weird. You're supposed to like alcohol as an adult. You're supposed to see it as a thing you do to go out and enjoy it. And accepting that I'm not that person, like, that's actually not an enjoyable event for me and I don't need to drink to fit in, like, that in itself was a long journey. But even harder has been facing the fact that, yes, I have a food addiction where I have triggering foods. I will never be a skinny person, but I am larger than I should be and larger than I want to be. I actually don't know my weight because I haven't weighed myself in forever, and I think it's irrelevant, honestly. I think what's relevant is changing my lifestyle so that I'm eating better, and I have successfully avoided the evil candy bowl snack free range area over the last couple shows that I've been here. So more important is changing my lifestyle than changing my weight number, because what happens with the weight number, and it's a constantly disappointing thing. Like, at one point I was almost 300 pounds and I lost 50 pounds. So I'm at 250. For most people, 250 is still a fat person. And the people who meet you day of, like, they don't see that journey. They don't see the before and after picture where they can make a comparison. They only see you as, are you fat or are you skinny? And let's be honest, like, people just see it and they make assumptions based on that. So the fact that at 250 pounds, I was fitter than some people who were at a much lighter weight than me, because I was exercising literally 5-6 days a week and eating super healthy, was irrelevant to the fact that once I stood beside that skinny person, they saw me as the unhealthy one. And so I need to change my mentality so I'm not focused on that number, because then that 50 pounds felt like nothing. And so I think of it more as a lifestyle change, of adapting it into the new lifestyle I'm trying to live. I'm sort of taking away the weight of numbers, and I'm debating ever weighing myself. The first step was last week when I said I'm not going to go near that candy bowl, and I bought in apples and packets of raisins and cheese sticks so I would not eat out that candy bowl, because there is no one piece for me. Like I said, I'm facing the fact I have a food addiction, and I can easily stop myself from buying bad things, but people always think free food is a good thing. The thing about free food is it isn't free. It comes with some sort of cost, and it happens all the time. Like, you go to a buffet and you're like so excited because you got to pay one price for access to all this food, but the thing is, then you overeat because it's there. And it feels like this free thing you're getting, or this way that you're beating the system. But it's like, what is your real cost? And maybe for some people, it's not a big deal. It is a good thing. But for me, like, having that kind of access is bad. Like, having a restricted system works for me. Actually, recording my calories works for me. Like, some people hate that. They feel like that's too much control, but I always feel better when I know what I'm eating. So recording all of my food and counting something like Weight Watchers, which is basically AA for food, really worked for me when I was doing it. And then I transitioned into losing my apartment, feeling really homeless, and not knowing how to deal. And that was before I really sort of changed the mentality around the way I was living. And, you know, I was eating fast food again. You know, if I could afford a snack, I would certainly go ahead and buy it. I would justify it by, oh, this is just a quick trip to 7-Eleven. And I really need to take away the excuses. And for some crazy reason, a bunch of you guys are following me on YouTube. So if you can help me just maintain, like, check in on me, call me on it. If it's an unrelated video, say, hey Dawn, how's the healthy lifestyle going? Please don't ask me how the weight loss is going. It will be helpful for me. So anybody who wants to play the game, welcome to the journey. Both my hands in the camera. It's weird. All right, I'm out, guys. Have a good day.